I weighed the most I've ever weighed.
717 pounds.
They put me in a medical induced coma. I woke up like a week later in the hospital on life support.
I always expect the worst and hope for the best.
You don't know what it feels like when the doctor says, "Are you willing to sign a do not resuscitate on your little sister?"
Or are your wolves gonna eat your ass?
It'll break us as a family if we continue.
Excuse me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is my first video on the 1,000 pound sisters. Okay, so there are quite a few things that we already know that has happened, but I'm not going to talk about those in case there are people watching who don't keep up with them on social media. So if you guys just watch the show organically, I don't want to spoil anything for y'all. But if you are curious, you can go look up their socials and just kind of catch up. Okay, so last season when we left, Tammy had finally made the decision to go back into rehab after a downward spiral.
Decided to go to rehab. Fed up with being sick all the time.
But she wasn't at the rehab 30 minutes until she had to be taken to the hospital because of her oxygen was so low. And she ended up being put into a medically induced coma, and it wasn't looking good.
Then the last day we was there, she woke up.
Yes, after a week of being in the coma, she woke up, and honestly, it seems like it was a miracle.
We prayed for a miracle and God gave us one.
Okay, now Tammy is, I believe this is about a month after she woke up from her coma and was hospitalized. She is currently at the rehab. They had to put a trach in her so that they make sure that she always has a direct line to her lungs so she can always get oxygen.
Hurry up. Oh, sassy.
Yeah.
Tammy admits that she has officially hit her rock bottom, and she says this right here, which makes me think that this might be the thing that just finally wakes her up.
Just don't understand why God saved me again.
Well, that was sad.
And she actually gets pretty emotional about it.
This is why I didn't want to do this.
You know, for the last 3 seasons, Tammy has just frustrated us all watching her time and time again sabotage herself. But I'm like, maybe she's finally waking up and she's going to do better. So, and because in the end, as annoying as she can be, I really just want the best for her.
So stop being stupid.
Okay, so then they show Amy, and she is with Michael and baby Gage, who is so big now. He is 15 months old, and they are at a salon, and she says she wants a new hairdo.
I want to do something bold, something more like myself.
Like, what are you seeing?
A fashion color.
A fashion color.
It's called high fashion, Erica.
Amy likes to change her hair color a lot. It's been a while since she's done it, though. She said she started doing it around middle school because everyone used to mix up her and Tammy because they're so close in age. People actually think they're twins a lot of the time, which she does not appreciate that comparison.
They need to go get their ass checked. 'Cause I don't look like that bitch.
She's like Sasquatch.
She actually lets Gage pick out her hair color, which I think is pretty cute.
What do you want? Well,
He has spoken.
But during this segment, she lets everyone know that she is pregnant with baby number 2.
We're expecting another child.
Baby number 2, y'all.
Which, again, if you guys follow them on social media, then you already know that she was pregnant and she had the baby.
And with this one, it was like, babe, I haven't pooped in 3 weeks. I'm pregnant.
That's how it went.
we believe you, okay?
Amy is seeming pretty fed up with Tammy at this point, and she's really kind of seeming to detach a little bit. She expressed how many times Tammy has come close to death, and it just seems like Amy can't really emotionally handle it anymore.
I'm like her mom. So it's like losing my child, you know, instead of my sister.
And she's just kind of like washing her hands of her. That's how I'm interpreting what she's saying.
I hope she gets her
together because I'm trying to get my together.
I know you're really trying to get your shit together.
Get your shit together, will you? Get your shit together.
I just can't do it no more. You're gonna have to take care of yourself.
Get the hell out!
So Amy has the family meet up at this little western town situation. I don't even know what to call it. They don't even know what to call it.
So today, me and my siblings are meeting up at this Western place. What's the name of it?
Hell, I don't know. It's a place.
If you guys remember from last season, Chris had also started doing a weight loss journey with Tammy, and just like what happened with Amy, he made it to where he could get weight loss surgery and Tammy didn't. And it's been about 6 months since he's had his surgery.
And now, by God, I'm a 95 pounds down and bringing sexy back. Help me!
Somebody lied to him about the sexy thing.
That is one thing about this family. They are always cracking jokes on each other, and it is hilarious.
He looked like he done lost all the flat tires off the Michelin Man.
So Amy shows up, and we finally get to see her new hair color.
You look like a bruised banana. Ugh, family.
The place that they're at looks like a little Western carnival type deal. There's some mini games and then like mini golf and stuff like that. It looks like everyone had fun despite them starting off on the wrong foot.
What's my doggone toe, Michael? God darn it.
Run her over, Michael. You know she deserves it.
And there was a slight mishap during the mini golfing.
Knock Misty and Chris down? I knew exactly where my pole was going, okay?
She knows how to work a pole.
This bitch!
So they all go down to the restaurant to eat, and it doesn't look like a single one of them is making a healthy choice. Chris says when it comes to his family, you gotta learn to pick your battles, and they all had a good day, so best not to ruin it. So Amanda wants to plan a trip to go see Tammy. She misses her. Like I said, I think this has been about a month since she was in a coma. But Amy says she can't go because of her morning sickness right now and the fact that she has to pee every 2 seconds. She does not want to be on a long trip, and that I'm pretty sure that facility is like almost 8 hours away from them. I do understand that, but I think it's also kind of an excuse because Amanda is like, don't worry, we'll make lots of stops. I'll help you with Gage. Like, it won't be, a thing. But, Amy just says no, she can't. I think it's kind of an excuse. I think she doesn't really want to see her. And Amanda says, you guys need to get over your feud. So I'm like, I guess they had a fight over something, and they haven't really said what it is yet. So when Amy gets home, she FaceTimes Tammy so that she can see Gage. She says Tammy and Gage have a really close relationship, even through FaceTime. He just adores her, which is so cute to me.
What you doing, Daddy?
But she lets her know that she won't be going up to see her, and Tammy's pretty upset.
You're gonna see me.
Tammy mostly just wants to see Gage, and she's pretty frustrated with Amy and feels like she doesn't really care.
I know how much I really want to see him. It bothers me and Amy don't give a.
So it's a week later, and Chris and Amanda are going up to see Tammy. And both of them are pretty nervous because neither one of them know how they're going to find Tammy. If she's going to be in a bad mood and be yelling at them, or what she's going to do. So they're both pretty nervous.
I'm not sure exactly what to expect, walking in to see Tammy today.
But both of them agree if Tammy starts giving them shit, they plan to give it right back.
And this bitch has a bad attitude about being up here. I'm about to cuss her out.
And Amanda's saying that she's just going to tell her that she doesn't understand what it's like to be in their position, to watch their little sister, almost die so many times.
You don't know what it feels like when the doctor says, are you willing to sign a do not resuscitate on your little sister?
So they go in, and it seems like it's actually a pretty nice visit. Tammy seems excited to see them, and they're talking to her about how she needs to get back on her feet and she needs to get well. And usually whenever they talk about this sort of stuff with Tammy, she would immediately, like, you could see the walls coming up and she would get mad and, you know, I just want to have fun. You know, just let me be happy. Can I just not be happy for once? Those are the kind of things that she would say. And now she's actually seeming more open, and she's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this surgery. And to me, this is just like really cool to see.
I'm not ready to give up. I'm telling you, this is it. I'm getting that surgery.
But again, it's just the beginning. We need to wait and see. So Tammy had called Chris to pick up some flowers for the nurses and caregivers who had been taking care of her at the rehab, which was quite shocking because the last time she was there, she picked a fight with just about everyone. And not only that, but one of the nurses said something that you could tell really shocked Chris.
Actually, we enjoyed taking care of Tammy. We really do.
She's been a good inspiration to a lot of the other patients here.
What is happening?
Okay, so they jump forward a few weeks and Tammy is starting some of her physical therapy, or we're just seeing her do some of her physical therapy, and we get our first bodily function of the season.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
So during this scene, I noticed they had Tammy just get up and she only walked 12 steps. But that was better for her because before she could only walk 10. So that's really amazing, actually. But if you think about the previous seasons, especially when she had her caregiver there, just getting her to walk around the house was difficult. And she would fight them and yell at them. And she just was like, okay, let's do it. And when she couldn't do anymore, she stopped. But she tried. And I'm like, I'm already seeing huge improvements in Tammy. So I'm excited. So Tammy is having an appointment over video chat with her doctor, Dr. Smith. And he was the one who said he couldn't treat her anymore if she was not going to lose weight.
So where are we at weight-wise?
620.
Okay.
So her highest weight, she was over 700. So she has lost around 100 pounds, which is pretty cool. But the doctor does point out a lot of that was more for medical reasons. Like she was retaining a lot of water more than likely. So a lot of that weight probably wasn't necessarily just like body fat. So he's still going to need her to lose a certain amount of weight until he can approve her for surgery.
So now we want to make sure she can continue to lose weight on her own by making dietary changes. And
so he wants her to get to 550 before he can approve her for weight loss surgery. And Tammy thinks she can do it. She's very optimistic about it.
It's good.
You think you can do it?
It's achievable. Yeah. It's achievable.
I'm done being sick. I'm done with hospitals. I'm done not being able to breathe. It's time for me to live.
I feel hope.
Okay, so we're switching back to Amy. Her and Michael are having a baby-free night, and so they decide to spend it at the gas station.
But with this pregnancy, I just want to eat.
Food does not just give us life, it is life.
Getting some snacks because Amy is having some pretty interesting pregnancy cravings.
Chinese fried rice with strawberry syrup.
No.
I'm just hoping she means sweet and sour sauce and not actual strawberry syrup, because that does not sound appetizing at all.
Or pizza with garlic powder and dill pickles.
Okay, that's not the worst. That doesn't sound like awful. I could probably try and eat that.
Maybe it was caramel on top.
Never mind.
I don't feel well.
Okay, so leaving Amy alone with her intimate date with a cheese can. Now, don't get me wrong. I think we're all guilty of this at some point in our lives. Well, not all of us, but I know I certainly have been. But the fact is, just because she's not as big as Tammy does not mean she doesn't need to focus on her health as well. Speaking of Tammy, back at the rehab center, she has a pretty scary moment.
Tammy.
Yes, Tammy developed a mucus plug in her trach, and luckily they were able to suction it out quickly enough, so Tammy is fine and there was no damage, but it is very scary. On her trach, there's this little cap doodad, I don't know what it's called, but basically when that comes off, which it looks like she takes it off at night, she can't speak, and there's just nothing there for her vocal cords to go against. So when this is happening, she can't say anything. So she said she was just suffocating. She couldn't breathe and she couldn't say anything. And I can just imagine that being terrifying. It is scary to think about how if she was home, especially if she was still living by herself, there is a chance that this could have happened, it getting plugged up, and she would have just died if she couldn't like reach her phone to call 911. And she didn't have, if she didn't have that little cap on, she wouldn't be able to yell for help, which, I mean, if you can't breathe, probably have a hard time yelling, but you can usually make some sounds, but she couldn't make any sounds at all. So she was really lucky this time again.
You're on borrowed time, fake Eleanor.
But Tammy is doing okay. She made it through just fine, and she's even able to joke about it.
So basically, it's a booger. That's the.
Yes, Tammy Slayton almost got taken out by a booger. Okay, that is the end of the first episode of the 1,000 Pound Sisters. I definitely want to cover this season, so look out for these videos. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's different from my 90-day content, but I mean, it's still TLC. So anyway, that's all I have for this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.